How's it going, guys? My name's Wilson. Some of the greatest things we look forward to every NBA preseason, thinking which teams will break out of nowhere over the course of an 82-game regular season. Some of the best teams with good veterans usually slack off, save their energies, and lose a couple games they're supposed to win. Just like with the 2019 Warriors and 2017 Cavs, they could have won 60 plus very easily if they really wanted to. Every once in a while, there comes a surprising team that wins over 60 games out of nowhere. With that said, here are 10 of the most shocking 60 plus win teams all time. Starting with the 2014-15 Golden State Warriors. After the 2014 season, head coach Mark Jackson got fired, replaced by Steve Kerr, a first-time coach, not knowing what to expect. Curry became a first-time All-Star in 14, Klay Thompson the second option, David Lee still an 18 and 9 guy. Kerr geniusly started Draymond, unleashed his all-around game, complementing the Splash Brothers, inserted Iguodala to the bench, an unpopular choice, worked out well. The Dubs weren't supposed to be this good. After 51 wins in a first-round exit to the Clippers, many believe Lob City, San Antonio, and OKC would dominate the West, but Golden State started off hot and never cooled down. Nobody expected this team to get the number 1 seed, outran other teams out the gym with much uncertainty before the season. Anywhere between the 4 to 8 seed wouldn't have been surprising. The underrated additions to back up Sean Livingston and Leandro Barbosa, huge assets, deepening the Warriors bench. Nobody could have seen a future dynasty after all the bad decisions from the organization the past decades. Draymond also finished second for Defensive Player of the Year. Coach Jackson deserved credit for installing a defensive mindset, while Coach Kerr's offensive genius allowed the team to play freely, run great sets to get his shooters open. Everybody knew their role and excelled, finished off the season with a title, something nobody could have imagined 12 months before. Number 9, the Cleveland Cavaliers 2009. After winning just 45 games the season before, the team was projected to win under 50 games. Superstar LeBron was turning into a two-way player, rounding out his overall game. The 08 team still had Larry Hughes and Drew Gooden. Didn't make a significant change. The biggest deal, trading for Mo Williams, who flourished under James, combined with being in the weaker Eastern Conference, the team did what they were supposed to do. Finished off all the bad teams. Mike Brown, Coach of the Year, defensive-minded. Williams averaged nearly 18 a game, over 43% from 3, his only All-Star appearance. Prime Delonte West, Daniel Gibson, and Wally Zerviak, effective three-point shooters. Good pieces around James, a top 3 defense and the top 4 offense. The chemistry was simply on point all season, especially at home, going a shocking 39-2 at the Q after easily blowing out the Pistons and Hawks. Not breaking a sweat the first 2 rounds, the team outside of LeBron struggled against Orlando, couldn't guard the big forwards. Mo Williams shot poorly in the conference finals, and Dwight Howard did whatever he wanted down low. A fantastic season for a disappointing ending. Number 8, the 2011 San Antonio Spurs. Many counted them out, thinking their contending days were over. Duncan already 33, Ginobili 32, just a prime Tony Parker, and a couple role players. 50 wins in 2010, only to get swept by Phoenix in the semis. With the retirement to Bruce Bowen, the perimeter defense became much weaker, ready to be written off. Projected to win in the high 40s to low 50s. San Antonio had the number 1 seed in the West, 61 wins. Duncan had nagging knee injuries, one of his worst seasons, 13.4 points, failed to score 30 points in any game that year. Richard Jefferson at the 3 was an awful fit. In the playoffs, their amazing regular season looked like a fluke. The AC, the Grizzlies, especially Zach Randolph, too much for San Antonio to handle. The younger and more energetic Grizz pulled off the upset. After losing early, the franchise made a genius draft day decision, trading George Hill for future superstar Kawhi Leonard. Number 7, the 2003-2004 Indiana Pacers. Coming off 48 wins in 2003, 3 straight first-round exits since Larry Bird took the team to the finals. After they gave Bird the control of basketball operations, quickly replaced Isaiah Thomas with new head coach Rick Carlisle. Nobody thought the team was contenders, being in an extremely small market with all-star Jermaine O'Neal, a 21-10 guy with elite post defense, a young Ron Artest, strong two-way presence, old Reggie Miller who can still hit shots, young Al Harrington, and Jamal Tinsley at the point. Brad Miller left the team, the biggest add in free agency, signing backup point guard Anthony Johnson. Nothing special. Nobody thought this team was going to contend. The East was supposed to be between New Jersey and Detroit. With these Pacers starting off 14-2, O'Neal and Artest all-star duos, the defense was suffocating. Jermaine made second team All-NBA, even finished 3rd for MVP voting, and the discussion as a top 3 power forward at the time was even better than Dirk in 2004. Artest's 3rd team Team All-NBA, won Defensive Player of the Year in an era with prime Ben Wallace, KG, and Duncan. It also helped the team play much weaker competition in the East compared to the loaded West. The 4-seeded Heat won 42 games, 8-seeded Celtics 36 games. Indy swept Boston each of the 4 games by double digits, had a competitive 6-game series with rookie Wade. Artest and O'Neal took a heavy load on both ends, came up short to the Pistons, was held to 72.7 points the 6 games. If it wasn't for malice in the Palace the following season, Indy would have had a shot to win the 05 title. Number 6, the 2019 Milwaukee Bucks. After 44 wins, the 7th seed, and a first-round exit to the Celtics, the team was projected to win around 48 games, with superstar Giannis emerging into one of the best players. The biggest change, adding coach Mike Budenholzer after getting rid of Jason Kidd. Similar to Golden State firing Mark Jackson, Coach Bud was a disciple of Greg Popovich, spread the floor with tons of shooters, unleashed Giannis's potential. Many were shocked to see the team letting Jabari Parker walk in free agency. For absolutely nothing, the guy who was supposed to be their franchise player added Brook Lopez, Ersan Ilyasova, and Nikola Mirotic, perfect pieces for Giannis, a strong front line, strong perimeter defenders in Bledsoe and Middleton, a solid Malcolm Brogdon, well-rounded with one true superstar, the perfect balance for pace and spaceball, unchallenged the first 2 rounds before falling to Toronto. Number 5, the 1997 Miami Heat. Just 42 wins the year before, the team traded for point guard Tim Hardaway before the deadline of 96. Pat Riley, his second season in South Beach after leaving the Knicks job. From a team coming off 50 losses 2 seasons back, projected to win around 48 games before 97, Miami signed Dan Marley, won 14 of their first 18 games, traded for Jamal Mashburn at the deadline. The greatness of Hardaway earned him a spot on the first team All-NBA honors, finished 4th for MVP, backup Isaac Austin, most improved player, beat the Magic in round 1, a grueling intense 7-game series with the rival Knicks with fights and suspensions, came back down 3-1 against New York before falling to Jordan's Bulls in 5 in the conference finals. The franchise became very good for a couple years under the Morning Hardaway era. Number 4, the 2011 Chicago Bulls, projected to win in the mid-40s. After finishing 41-41 in 2010, the team replaced Vinny Del Negro with Tibbs. The roster was simply built around young D. Rose, signed former All-Star Carlos Boozer, role players Ronnie Brewer, Kurt Thomas, Keith Bogans, backup CJ Watson. When the Heat formed their super team, there was much talk about the Stars deciding to team up with the Bulls, but nobody anticipated Chi-Town, a scrappy defensive team with one superstar, to dominate the regular season. 62 wins, a league best. Rose became the youngest MVP, something nobody could have predicted. The team wasn't stacked by any means, but everyone knew their role, brought in and gave 100% every night. Tibbs simply got the most out of his players. The bench was also fantastic. 50 wins wouldn't have been shocking for the Bulls, but the best record in the league as a 22-year-old, the best player, almost unheard of. It's unfortunate we'll never know how far these Bulls would have gotten if it wasn't for Rose's knee injury in 2012. Falling to Miami in the conference finals wasn't that surprising since the Heat were more talented. Number 3, the 1980 Boston Celtics. After the 76 title team, the franchise has some dark years. 32 wins in 78, 29 in 79. The first year Larry Bird came to the league, the C's only big addition, signing ML Carr. All of a sudden, the franchise had one of the biggest turnarounds in NBA history, won a league best 61 wins. After waiting a full year since taking Bird 6 overall in 78, the team went 61 and 103 the previous 2 seasons. Larry Legend averaged over 21, 10 and 4 off the bat, made first team All-NBA, Rookie of the Year, in a time where most players did not believe a white guy can dominate and be this good. Bill Fitch, a way better coach than Dave Collins, also made a difference. Bird finished 4th for MVP and was already one of the 5 best players in the game coming into the league. McHale and Parrish weren't even on the team yet. If any rookie today took a subpar 30-win team to over 60 wins, social media would explode and the player would be labeled as potentially the next GOAT. Bird easily swept the Rockets in the playoffs before falling short to the Sixers in the conference finals. Not only did Bird become the face of the NBA, but helped the league gain more exposure. After the NBA struggled with the audience in the late 70s, the main reason why Magic's Lakers won the title because he had the best player in Kareem Jabbar. If Bird had a player of Kareem's magnitude his rookie season, no doubt Boston would have won it all. Number 2, 2005 Phoenix Suns. Before they became the future of basketball, the franchise had to re-establish themselves after Mike D'Antoni Tony took over the previous season, got rid of point guard Stephon Marbury to save money. Amari missed nearly 30 games in 2004 with injury. The team already had Sean Marion, Joe Johnson, and Leandro Barbosa. Delivered free agent Steve Nash and Quentin Richardson. The team was projected to win in the mid-40s. There was no indication Nash was going to be a superstar, already 30 years old with a bad back. Nash was absolutely perfect for the offense. Phoenix started winning 24 of his first 27 games with the run and gun style. Teams would gas out before the fourth quarter. Nash and Amari pick and roll unstoppable. The style was unique and out of the ordinary in the slow pace era, having the best offense in the league. Phoenix averaged over 110 points. Nash won MVP, the most shocking in the modern era. Joe Johnson shot 48% from 3 the whole season. 22-year-old Amari scored 40 plus 6 different times. The team fell short to San Antonio in the conference finals. Joe Johnson missed the first 2 games with injury. Number 1, the 2015 Atlanta Hawks. The team did not make any star acquisitions. Pretty much had the same roster from 2014 when they finished 38-44. Same starters of T, Korver, Carroll, Millsap, and Horford. None of them were that special. Coach Bud completed his first season in 2014 as head coach. A 42.5 win projection, very reasonable. The team started out 7-6 and nobody thought much about it. Atlanta went crazy hot out of nowhere, went on a 9-game win streak after, had a 19-game win streak, going undefeated the month of January. That whole span, nearly 70% of the team's field goals were assisted and Kyle Korver couldn't miss from 3. Coach Buss's spacing and brilliant ball movement allowed the team to get the best of each other without any legit stars. 4 All-Stars, Korver made it as a replacement. None of the players would have likely made it if they were in the West. The team, however, sadly peaked before the All-Star break, went 17-11 after, didn't have a go-to scorer who can create their own shot down the stretch. The 38-win Nets took them to 6 games in round 1. Washington took these Hawks to 6, barely winning nail-biters in games 5 and 6. John Wall only played 3 of those 6 games, got exposed by LeBron's Cavs in the conference finals. J.R. Smith went off for 28 points in game 1. LeBron was simply LeBron all series. DeMarre Carroll hurt his knee the first game. Kyle Korver's ankles was taken out in game 2. Atlanta held to 23% from 3 that whole series. The fact that these 60-win Hawks weren't even a threat to the short-handed Cavs with no love and a banged-up Kyrie showed how overrated they are. An absolute travesty, pathetic of a performance. The regular season success was simply a fluke. The perfect example that an 82-game season success without a legit star doesn't often lead to postseason success. DeMarre Carroll left for the Raptors in the offseason. Atlanta pretty much had the same team in 2016, won just 48 games, swept again by LeBron's Cavs, this time in the semis. Which one of these 60+ win teams shocked you most? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. Subscribe for more content, more good stuff coming soon. I love all of you. See you next time.